It's so frustrating, guys. I've just given the greatest speech of my life, right? Covering everything that I believe in and what this channel's about and that I want to get across. But it was to the air, I was just talking to the air. So frustrating. There's no way I can recreate that. I'm making notes, making tons of notes, but trying to read it off, it's so different. I thought I'd just try and do this can be a I can't even speak. See, since the camera's on, I'm jelly. A pre-channel trailer video, yeah. Basically, what it boils down to, just going over some of the concepts, is, so at least if I get this out there, I can maybe use it as a channel trailer. The concepts are to love each other, understand each other, love yourself, so that things can work, we can mesh together and move forward together and help each other instead of fighting, kind of thing. Because I understand what happens as a baby, stuff happens to you, it causes these horrendous feelings as an adult, and your behaviour, kind of thing. And then we're all projecting what happened to us as a child onto everyone that we meet, and we're all attracting these kind of same relationships again and again, repeating patterns from what your parents did to you. But it's not to blame the parents, say, oh, they were bad. We're all born into circumstances, we pick it before we come spiritually. So if you understand that, you stop blaming other people and fighting against it because you picked it for you. So there's all that side of things. And the parents are doing their best with what they know at the time. They had childhoods too, don't forget. They might be behaving badly towards children, but they might not be educated about it. They didn't get what they needed growing up, and they might not even realise that, I mean, some people think they had a nice childhood, but it wasn't. It was horrendously, manipulated by their parents and stuff like that. I didn't even know I had a bad childhood, bad in inverted commas, in my early 20s when I first went into therapy and that. I had a breakdown. And I finally got some help from the NHS kind of thing. And all they had available was art therapy. But I went to see her and she said, you should talk, you don't have to do art kind of thing. And so I didn't even know I'd had a bad childhood too. We started, drawing my family and stuff, and she was, you started realising that other people have different, your childhood is just your childhood when you're growing up. You don't realise it's not normal sort of thing. I mean, now people are probably much more educated about the importance of all this sort of stuff. But I wasn't back then, God, I was born in 1960, giving away my age. People knew squat then, never bloody talked about any of it, so... there's lots of people my age, and that's another thing, people give up on their dreams in their 50s, Don't give up on your dreams, even if you're 50. Life begins at 50. It's only society that says you should have done this by this age, you should have done that by that age. Fuck society, fuck that. I'm me, what happened to me, happened to me. I love the things that I love, and I'm ready when I'm ready. Fuck you, if you think that's bad because I'm 50-odd and I've not done it yet, you know what I mean? Just go for what you want. You could be 80, right? You suddenly realise all this stuff, start going for your joy, and it can cure you of your illnesses. It could be the best injection into your arm you've ever given, that life could ever give you. It can cure everything because a lot of illness is just feeling like you can't do things, feeling despondent and miserable and powerless to change your circumstances. That can cause illnesses, and you could live to over 100, have good 20 years or more, doing your joy from that moment on. It doesn't, you know what I mean. Wearing myself out now. So, loving each other, understanding each other, having compassion for other people and why they behave the way they do, so that we can pull together and enjoy our lives, people, like Tigger sort of thing, or whatever you want to do. You might not be like Tigger, you might be completely different. Of course, everyone's different, what they want and stuff. But I'm like Tigger, I like to be like a little bouncy rabbit or something. Now, what was I saying? Love each other. Yeah, there's things like I love things like numerology and astrology. Like astrology, I've only gone into to a certain level and used it for personalities. It's way complicated, and how they narrow it down to a daily forecast. That's what's put everyone off astrology, and people don't believe in it because it's ridiculous. Because there's all these competing forces on you from all these different planets all the time. It is a thing, it really is a thing. But the ancient Aztecs or whoever used to know about it and use it. But all the information's been kept from us, all the good, powerful spiritual stuff. And but you can understand your traits, what you're good at and stuff, which you might not even realise. Excuse me, because you've not been encouraged, as a child, kind of thing. You've not had your talents brought out of you. You might not even realise the things that you're good at and what you're interested in. That can tell you a lot of stuff like that. And numerology, we're all on a life path number 1 to 9 kind of thing, and you can break it down into individual components within that as well. And there's all sorts of numbers going on to do with that. But basically, we're all on a life path 1 to 9. And if you can work out your partner's as well as your own, their life path number and their behaviour traits and what their big issues are in this lifetime. You think, oh, that's why they're like that or whatever. That's why they behave like that. So you can understand them and respect them more, not just get angry because they're not doing what you want to do. Or you might say, well, maybe that person's not suitable for me and move on, but happily sort of thing, rather than it having to be all this terrible tragedy kind of thing. It's understanding, loving, going after what you love, not looking at fear and hate all the time. Sorry, I'm gabbling about that. Yeah, there's lots of information out there. You don't want to get it across, That's why I learn things to a certain level. I mean, I've learned numerology to quite a deep level. I like things with numbers and stuff that it appeals to me. You can work it out, a number, and put someone in it, and it's really easy to do something. But it gives you a ton of brilliant information, what's not to love. That appeals to me. That's why I've learnt a lot of different things to a certain level, because there's so much good information. That's what I'm about, saying, try this. You don't like numerology and astrology, try this. There's all these different techniques you can use to learn about yourself, what you're good at, what you love. And so you can go after a life that you love, not think you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to fit into what everyone else says you've got to do, You've got to discover yourself. I mean, Bruce Lee says that's one of the hardest things or something, like learning about yourself. I can't remember exactly, but, he knew what he was talking about. It's a lifelong sort of thing, learning about yourself. And I think that's... No, it's not. There's so much more. And I'm so lucky that I've got a science background and I've studied myself therapy for so many years, like the emotional stuff. So it's like the basic physical grounding of science and also nutrition as well. But I won't go into why I got extra knowledge about nutrition. And because spirit kind of led me to a certain thing. But I know other people have spirit guides telling them to eat certain foods, and it's not right for everyone. They go out, they're publishing all these books, like the Medical Medium, saying we should all be eating these tons of fruit and vegetables all the time. That's not right for everyone. So I don't get that. Some spiritual information isn't right somehow, or he's not using it right. I don't know. But anyway, so I was reluctant to say spirit led me to a certain diet, but it really, there's basic information that everyone needs to know. And they can make their own decision based on that sort of thing. But so I've got the science, I've got the physical stuff, knowledge, and I've got all the emotional stuff that I've worked on. I've got natural ability, and constantly studied myself through practice. And I've got the spiritual knowledge as well, because apparently I was created. There's 9 levels up there somewhere as well. I don't know about all that side of things. I only use the spiritual stuff that's useful in a practical way. So I was apparently one reading I had that talked about angels and ETs and stuff. She said I was created in the ninth order, which is a higher level to do spirit stuff. That's not to say I'm great or anything. It's just in this lifetime on Earth, we're all going through all the levels all the time. There's no merit in it, kind of thing. Do you see what I mean? It's like, but I've been born into a one life path. So, whereas my ex is a 9 life path, he's got so much more knowledge to draw on than I have. It's different somehow because he's probably had a ton more lifetimes on Earth, whereas this is one of my first, apparently. So, according to this lady, don't know if that's right. I've not had that confirmed or denied, really. Nobody's ever said to me, because you can get past life reading stuff. I've not done much of that or any of that, really. So, I've got all this knowledge kind of thing, which is meant to be for this lifetime, and I want to pass it all on, sort of thing. And at the end of this reading, where this woman said that I was created in the ninth level, and I didn't want to come down to Earth, apparently, I was really scared, and I rushed the last few levels, apparently, because you meant to work your way down, because we're on, I think Earth is 4, level 4 or something, or it might be 3, but there's at least 2 levels below it as well, which is like hell sort of territory or something. I don't know. Don't really believe in all that, but anyway, yeah, I don't. I forgot. Lost my thread now. Yeah, so I was giving that talk as well. It's like, I'm a person whose mind goes blank because I feel the pressure, like I look stupid. So, in accepting that, I was able to immediately get back to where I was, sort of thing. But I really am on camera this time, and I wasn't before. No, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, I'll pause. Yeah, I can pause, can I? That was it. It came back. Had a sip of water as well, and took a breath. But now I was going. That was it. I forgot to breathe again. Yeah. I've got this image. Yeah, this woman during and we did like a meditation thing, and I was seeing all this stuff. Like my eyes became planets and stuff. It was really weird. No idea what all that was about. But she said, "Yeah, that's good" or something. But she didn't really explain what that was about. But at the end of it ended because I became this soldier, and I was kneeling down, and I had a flower. I was holding up this flower, and it's like peace. It's like make peace. Oh, it's triggering a feeling. Make peace, people. My childhood, I was a peacemaker in the family, kind of thing. Make peace, I'm a soldier, and I'm like kneeling down, and I'm holding up this flower to humanity, the whole of humanity. Make peace. Love each other. Don't judge other people. You don't know what's happened to them, And the people, the parents who are fucking up their children, they didn't know, they're doing their best too. We're all doing our best. And this life is meant to be about joy, But we have to be, that's it. It's leading me on to the Neale Donald Walsch stuff. That's good. God, God said through Neale Donald Walsch, Conversation with God books. Hopefully you know about those. If you don't, go and read them now. Drop everything. Go and read them because they're fucking brilliant. Because, because Neale Donald Walsch struggled with his life, and in his 50s, he started channeling God, sort of thing. When most people give up on their dreams, kind of thing. Anyway, oh God, I lost my thread. God was saying, peace, love each other. Oh God, I'm gonna have to pause again. Sorry about that. I had to work my way back. Like, love each other. Life is about, and anyway, life's about joy. I don't want to lose my thread again. Trying to go back through it all. God, it's like one thing leads to another. So life is about joy. Yeah. So reading the Conversation with God books is really good for me because it answered. I'm going like this, but you can't see my hand. It answered the big question of what we're all doing here, like, because everything's energy and we're all God, right? I'm just saying what I believe. So if you don't, click out or whatever. Everything's energy, we're all God, and in order for God to experience His pure love and bliss, is the best way I can describe it, energy, love and bliss. And in order for God to experience itself, whatever it is, this energy and entity, He had to create the opposite. So, like if you imagine like hot water and cold, hot and cold, you can't experience. If everything was all hot, you couldn't experience cold, kind of thing. So if everything is love, you can't experience. You can't experience love if everything is love, kind of thing. So a duality had to be created. I want to explain it more, but I can't think of ways of doing it. I always get like this. I want to explain more. I want to explain more detail, so everyone can understand it. I've got to let it go, haven't I? Go and read the bloody books. Maybe explain it better. I haven't got the book yet. If I had the right passage with me, I could read it, what he says. He doesn't explain it very much, but he does say some stuff about the opposites. He had to create the opposite, so we're all born into the opposite. So me being in the angel realm, I was born into, and so in the angel realm, about the power. You can ask angels for things, and they'll give it to you, kind of, or maybe not, But you have to believe. That's a thing. People pray and they don't believe that God is going to listen to little them, because God's got everyone to look after, and why should they listen to them? There's all this stuff like society puts on you. You shouldn't want things, you shouldn't ask for things, it's greedy to want money and stuff. That's rubbish. We want what we want, sort of thing. You can get help with what you want, kind of thing, by asking the angels is one method, and praying to God. If you pray to God, know that God is there. And it doesn't matter that there's millions of it. That really does not matter. We can't perceive what's out there with our five senses, because it's very limited, our five senses. It's such a fraction of reality. So when you pray, know that God or whatever entities can answer, and you'll get what you want. You just got to know and believe. So I know about that. I've lost my bloody thread again. I want to slap myself now. I'm getting fed up. Hold on. I think it was just, I was glad to move on to the Neale Donald Walsch to explain that God wants to experience itself, and that's why there has to be heaven and hell, the opposites, kind of thing. All this misery and deprivation and scarcity. It's not true. It's just literally God had to create the opposite in order to experience the joy and the love itself. So it's experiencing it through us, each individual entity, and there's all these other planets, no doubt, and other life forms. That's where the ETs come in. They're different races with different levels of advancement from us, kind of thing. I don't know about all that, too much. I just, read stuff and learn it, and some of it I go, oh yeah, I see that. Or sometimes I think, well, no, that maybe that person's delusional or whatever. But or they were really negative vibes. Some of them, like David Icke. I went to see him, and he started talking about this specifically Anunnaki or something. And when you see him and he's talking about stuff, but it's like alien races and stuff that they're trying to do us in, and I don't believe in that. Like, if you believe in that, that will kind of happen, but I don't believe in that. See, I don't know if it's because I'm created in that higher realm and he's not. He's a bit lower realmish kind of thing. See what I mean? Because we're ultimately powerful ourselves, and it's like when I went into psychic development, I never thought that some evil spirit would overtake me. I laugh at that. What a joke, kind of thing. They can't touch me. They fucking can't touch me, evil spirits. Well, I shouldn't say that, I get scared. Because I've got the human side of me that gets scared, But yeah, when I was watching The Witches of Eastwick, that film, and the three of them, I think there were three, and they had to hold hands and expel this evil spirit from the house. And I thought, I could so do that. I could stand up. I've got such a strong, solar plexus or something, to do with good and evil. Evil it's just weak. It's not a powerful source of force at all. Positive energy is at least 3 times or a million times, I don't know, it's more powerful than negative, you see. So powerful thoughts. And that's why law of attraction can work just by doing positive affirmations, and spending a small amount of time in a positive, it's worth boosting yourself up, reading your positive affirmations or whatever you use to raise your vibe. because you might only be doing it for a fraction of the day, and the rest of the day you're going back to worrying about money and health and the state of the world. That bit of time you spend on the good stuff is powerful, and you can use it and will overshadow the negative kind of thing. So it's worth doing, okay? I'm going to end it here because it's 20 minutes. I might use this as my channel trailer, I don't know, because otherwise I'm going to have to get all my thoughts together. It's like writing a really long article. Write it all out and then practice saying it, or somehow have a card popped up against my bloody laptop. I don't know. I'm not sophisticated enough yet, and it will take ages to learn. And I won't get any other material out there. I won't get anything else done. I've got to earn money as well at the moment, unfortunately. Even though I'm this bloody, born in this angel, created in the angel realm as well. I haven't, because I was born into the opposite. I'm still struggling with all that, you see. So, and that's how I can have massive compassion for everyone else out there struggling, So, love you lots. I really do love other human beings. It's not ingenuous, even though I don't know you, and you might be a horrible person, behaving horribly. I know there's always a reason. Oh, that's another thing. And another thing, and another thing is, I've said, haven't I? No matter what you've done, don't feel bad about yourself, or try and, claw your way up to love, kind of thing. Always go for what you want. Don't take the notice of society and what they say you should be doing. Do what you love, but do it slowly. Don't rush and, do yourself an injury, kind of thing. Love you lots, and I really do, and I love myself too. I love myself, and catch you later. Bye. Go on, stop. I'm not very good at endings. I didn't like that ending. Anyway, I had a quick look. I didn't realise I paused it instead of stopped, so I had a quick look at my notes. You can get a bit more in now. Sorry it goes over 20, but hey. We are millions of sparks of, God split into all these billions of sparks of life that we are, and we're all different, no two snowflakes are the same, so don't try and fit yourself into any category of anything, society or anything. Basically, you do you, okay? Be yourself. And you think we're all meant to be the same? We're meant to be like, going through this society thing, of being born, going to school, going to work, career, getting married, having kids or not, you might not want to do that, but still, some people do things all opposites and backwards, and that's why travel is good, isn't it? Learning about other cultures and the way they do things. Everyone's different. Don't try and fit. Do never try and fit. Just be you. Be expansive. Trying and fit is narrowing down. Go out. You know what I mean? And I want to help you micromanage your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions, because that's where the power is at. Because we all feel powerless, but we're not, kind of thing. And saying I can't, doubting, and I can't is a real killer, kind of thing. And all bad feelings really are some sort of powerlessness, which is the exact opposite of what we are, which is powerful. So the opposite is the truth. I'll end it there, and I won't even try and do an ending this time because I'm not very good at it yet. Need more practice. Bye. Third time lucky. I'm back again, I'm back. I'm going to say goodbye from Fluffy. Here he comes. Ooh. He's a bit shy. Hello. Don't take life too seriously. Don't take life too seriously. Go out and make a fool of yourself. Yeah, that's another good point, actually. Try and make a fool of yourself. And then you won't worry about making a fool of yourself. You see how it works. Be you. Above all, go for fun. Enjoy. Bye, peeps. Love you. Love myself. I'm nice. Okay, bye for now. I'm really ending this time. I'm going to end it. Here we go. Bye.